Hello, everybody. Welcome to Womenlines Health is Wealth show. Myself, Charu Mehrotra, founder of online magazine Womenlines.com. Friends, at Womenlines, we are continuously putting efforts to get that content, video, articles, interviews, where my readers can learn about those exceptional tips which can help them to live life with abundance of health, physical and mindset both. So today we are having somebody special from California. Suzanne Alfandri MS, a California, USA licensed psychotherapist and trainer of mental health providers. She has been working with people for over 20 years, supporting them in reaching their goals. Suzanne is an emotional freedom technique, EFT, tapping coach, working with people around the world. Suzanne's work is most effective for clients who are insightful and successful, but still struggling with depression, anxiety, emotional or physical trauma, or feeling stuck in life and are ready to change now. Welcome, Suzanne, at the Womenline Show.
Hi, I'm so honored to be here. Thank you so much for the beautiful work that you do and the beautiful essence that you share with women online.
Thank you so much for your kind words, Suzanne. So yes, Suzanne, we're excited to know. Please share about yourself.
I love to find out what works well when things are difficult to change. And I work very hard at that, both in myself and for others, in simplifying it and sharing it and empowering people to do it for themselves.
Fantastic. So you are an EFT coach, which is called Emotional Freedom Technique. So can you go into
Yes.
detail what it is exactly? What does it mean?
Emotional freedom techniques is tapping on acupuncture meridian points
Okay.
while talking about what is troubling the person.
Okay.
And what the studies have shown is that this sends soothing signals to the brain
Mm-hmm.
and relaxes it. So those stress hormones don't come into the body, and the more healing type of hormones do, so that the body can naturally heal itself and creativity can come because the brain will be back working, functioning the way it needs to.
Beautiful.
Another idea is that there's we're all made of energy. When
Correct.
we
I
look
strongly agree.
into, right, when we look into the smallest pieces of what we are, it ends up it's energy.
Very true.
What the founder of EFT discovered was that when there's a block in those energy systems,
Okay.
that also creates a difficulty.
Okay.
So both the signals to the brain and the movement on those energy field lines
Okay.
helps people release things, emotional things that can get in the way of physical or everyday life's challenges.
Such a beautiful description. And it gives so much clarity what exactly it is. So it's a combination of acupressure point, working on the points, plus your energy, and plus the clarity of that energy within the body. So tapping helps in
Yeah,
those terms.
yes, and it's also using the words about the truth of how somebody feels
Okay.
about things. So even though people might have a physical issue from, say, a surgery or an accident of some sort,
Correct.
and there's the idea that, well, it should be done, it should be healed.
Mhm.
Sometimes there's an emotional piece that holds on to it. And whether we know what it is or not doesn't even matter. The tapping will help release it.
Fantastic. How old is this concept? Can you just mention something about it?
Yes, well, Gary Craig, who started it, learned it through Roger Callahan, who was a therapist in California
Okay.
in the early 80s,
Okay.
and discovered it and simplified it and spread it throughout the world. And it's used across everywhere for all sorts of different issues.
Uh-huh.
And the lovely, lovely thing about it is that usually people could do it on their own.
Yes, that's the beauty. I think this should be learned by everybody because everybody wants to improve in life. So,
I have
yeah,
been teaching, I've been teaching teachers and school counselors how to do it so they could do it with their students. And they are using it, and it helps with test anxiety. It helps with e- emotions that are revved up when it's hard to learn, and it calms things down. So it's very effective. And my
okay.
goal is for as anyone who can to learn it.
Fantastic. If the schools are accepting it and they are not just taking it as another therapy and people are not believing on certain therapies, so it gives the credibility, like people are believing and having faith and they are teaching the younger generation so they can be benefited out of it. That's good to know.
That's that's right. It's also approved to be used for the Veterans Administration for soldiers who have PTSD,
Is it?
and
So
a large
interesting.
a large insurance health company
Mhm.
has it used for depression and anxiety. For people who are trained in it, they're allowed to use it.
That's really beautiful to know. So yes, how about you? How and why you chose to be an EFT expert?
Well, I, as I said, love to get to the bottom of things. And I come from the idea that many of us do, that
Mhm.
as we have clarity, we our lives become more adventurous, and we give more, and we have more that brings joy.
Very true.
Yet sometimes there's such a strong desire, yet it doesn't shift. And I found EFT was address those beliefs, those hidden beliefs that the body holds and that our brain holds in its little traumatic containers that stop us sometimes. That stopped me. And
Okay.
I wanted to learn and know how to do that. And the more I've learned, the more there's more studies, there's more experience to know that it's a remarkably helpful. So it was personally really wanting to make changes that, with all the insight that I had,
Yeah.
didn't quite make the change that I was looking for.
Fantastic. And for how many years you're doing this as an expert coach for EFT?
Since 2009.
Long
So
time.
yeah,
Good
almost
to know
20
that.
years.
So,
Yeah.
what, according to you, the changes are there which people can feel after doing EFT?
They should feel a sense of relaxation, that their body calms down, a clarity in their thinking. They remember whatever the problem was, but there's not the emotional charge is much less if it's there at all.
Okay.
So those are some of the
So,
benefits. And there's release of pain emotionally, physically,
okay.
and opens up ideas that sometimes when we sleep on things, we wake up and we have a new idea.
Very true.
EFT can do that too.
Wow. Good to know. So, now the main question. How is EFT done? I have so many questions. How long it should be done? How many days should be done? Can we do many times a day? Please go ahead and explaining about it.
Okay, it depends. If there's a craving, or there's a strong emotion that you don't want to be having in the moment, that's a perfect time to tap
Okay.
until you feel the release. It's also good to do every day, like hygiene. So it's like emotional hygiene.
Oh, wow. I love the term emotional hygiene. Why not? Yes.
Yes, yes, yes. And so people can do it every day.
Okay.
People could do it multiple times a day. If they're feeling fearful about what's happening in the world, or if they feel some cold coming on, or if they're worried about an upcoming meeting that they're having, they could tap on that.
Okay.
when it's good to go to a professional only when the issue is that unsolvable on your own.
Okay.
Sometimes it's hard to keep track of doing it on yourself and guiding yourself and feeling the feeling.
Correct.
So mostly people can do it on their own, and they can follow different things on
Yeah.
the internet. A wonderful resource is the tapping solution. They have an app, and that app it's paid, and also they have free
Version.
ones.
Okay.
And EFTuniverse.com is also a great place where you could do tap along.
Fantastic. We will be mentioning about the links in the content. Do check it out, friends, to know more about EFT. So yes, can we have sharing by you how it is done? Can you teach us?
I would love to.
Awesome.
And if you're willing to be my echo, where I say something, you repeat it.
Okay.
I tap on myself and you tap on yourself.
Okay.
Okay, so
Love to.
this would wonderful. This will be good, whoever is listening, to do it also.
Okay.
So I'm going to ask you, for a start, for an example, where in your body, if there is, do you feel some tightness or discomfort?
Oh, for me, it is lower back mostly because I sit a lot for my work and there are certain issues previously. So, yeah, I have to be mindful about that.
Okay, great. So everybody else, think of some place in your body where you feel some kind of tension or discomfort. And now rate it on a scale of 0 to 10. And you could just guess. Before you do that, I'd like you to feel the discomfort as much as you can,
Okay.
but always take care of yourself emotionally and physically.
Okay.
So on a scale of 0 to 10, where how you feel at this moment in your lower back, the tightness, where 10 is extremely tight and 0 is no tightness, what would you say it is for you now?
For me, I can say it's 6 now.
Great. Okay, so now I am going to, again, tap on me, and we'll start on the side of the hand.
Oh, we start
And
from
you
here.
do,
Okay. So it's
and
left
you
hand and right hand I use
either, I
either.
love your questions. Either hand
Okay.
is perfect.
Okay. So
Yes.
I tap.
Now, also, if some strong feeling comes up, let me know.
Sure.
Also, I'm going to be saying words. If they feel true to you, say them. If you have better words, use your words.
Okay. I will take a note of it.
Okay?
Sure.
So, side of the hand, and
Okay.
just tap gently with your fingertips right on the side
Okay.
and repeat after me.
Yeah.
Even though
Even though
I have this tightness in my lower back,
I have this tightness in my lower back,
I still deeply and completely accept myself.
I still deeply and completely accept myself.
Even though I've had this long standing tightness in my lower back,
Even though I have this long standing tightness in my lower back,
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
Even though there's this tightness and strain in my lower back,
Even though there is a tightness and strain in my lower back,
and I'm not quite sure it can go away.
and I'm not sure that it can go away.
Is that true?
Yes, that feel is there that I have to be always mindful and it's again coming. So yeah, the fear is there at the back of my mind.
Good. And I'd like to release as much as I can of that.
And I would like to release as much I can.
And I deeply and completely accept myself exactly how I am.
I deeply and completely accept myself exactly how I am.
Now, right where the eyebrow starts at the bridge of the nose,
Okay,
perfect.
this one.
This tightness in my lower back,
This tightness in my lower back,
side of the eye on the bone, this tightness in my lower back,
tightness in my lower back,
right under the pupil, on the bone, under the eye. I don't know if I'll ever have full relief.
I don't know I will ever have the full relief.
Under the nose, this tightness in my lower back,
This tightness in my lower back,
the crease of the chin. It is uncomfortable.
it is uncomfortable.
And we call this the collarbone. I don't know if I'll ever be rid of it.
I don't know if I will be ever rid of it.
And then under the arm, about a hand's width, this tightness in my lower back,
This tightness in my lower back,
tightness in my lower back.
tightness in my lower back.
And we'll do one more round. I'm ready to let some of it go.
I'm ready to let some of it go.
Side of the eye. I choose to release
I choose to release
whatever tightness is safe to release.
whatever tightness is safe to relieve.
Under the eye, I choose to release
I choose to release
only as much as is safe to let go.
only as much as it's safe to let go.
Under the nose, I thank my lower back for being as comfortable as it is.
I thank my lower back for being comfortable as it is.
Crease of the chin. I choose to let go of any tightness
I choose to let go of any tightness
that is willing and ready to go.
that is filling and ready to go.
I am ready to release some of this tightness,
I am ready to release some of this tightness
as much as it's ready to go.
as much as it's ready to go.
I feel so much better knowing maybe it can release.
I feel relief so much in knowing that it can be released.
Letting go of as much as is willing and safe to release.
Letting go as much as it's willing and safe to release.
Good. Now take a breath and release. And now check back into the same area that you were feeling before and notice if there is any shift. It could go up in a number, stay the same, or go down. It's all good information.
Cool. I definitely feel relaxed, and yeah, the lightness is there. So I can yes say that 5, 6. The zero is the highest, right? So it has reduced to
No,
1.
zero's the lowest.
Zero is the
This,
lowest. So I can say 7.
yes.
It's
So
6. It has reduced, a little reduced. The tightness has
okay, so
reduced.
the tightness has reduced a little, which is fantastic. That means it can.
It can.
Now this was a very generalized way of doing it. When I work with people, I go ask a little bit more and come up with a little bit more about the more specifics about it, or more specifics about sitting, or what happened previously about it. There could be just one thing that's hanging on that wants to release that we couldn't do with this very brief. But the fact that you had a sense of relaxation
Definitely, I'm feeling
and a little better is fabulous.
cool. So maybe it's some reflection time for us. So we
Yeah.
introspect and see what's the block, what's pinching myself. So to release that issue, maybe something is there which I'm not focusing on that.
So what you could do is just say, this issue that I'm not aware of, whatever it is that's holding me back, I don't even need to know. Thanking it and letting it go.
Okay.
Thanking it and letting it go. So you And you could try that.
Okay, so it's all depends upon the words and how with how much mindfulness we are doing it, and yeah. So what's the frequency? So this is 2 rounds we have to do and release.
What it when you do it on, what I recommend and what is recommended is keep tapping when you're with what we call the negative or the truth of the situation, the difficulty.
Okay.
So if 10 is a terrible difficulty,
Okay.
you would want to tap only on vent about it and say everything that's wrong about it until that number goes down to somewhere in the middle range.
Oh,
When
yeah.
so however long that takes,
You have to do
when the number reduces to 5, 6, 7,
like that.
or
Yeah.
5, 6, then intersperse both. This is very difficult and I choose to release some, or I know there's another side to this, or I'm some more positive counterbalance. And then when the intensity of the difficulty is 3, 2, 1, then you could tap in mostly the positive that you have. But whenever there's a tail ender or a yes, but, tap on that but. Tap on the truth of the matter until your number goes down to 0.
You just mentioned the tap on the positive. What does that mean?
So let's say for the tightness in your back, it's uncomfortable. You didn't really see how you might relieve it because you sit a lot, etc. Those are the difficulties. Any other ones with that? The positive is you're able to sit, you are able to move. It's wonderful that having attention, you're able to do as much as you do. So it could be things like that when I say the positive for the specific thing that you're working on.
Fantastic. It's what way we think about it and what way we tap it. So we can just play with the words and then we can carry it how we want to do for ourselves.
Yes, just be truthful with what you're
Be honest
feeling.
with yourself. That's important.
Be honest with yourself, yes, because it's like if Louise Hayes said that if you want to clean your house, you have to see the dirt.
Correct. That's a very powerful
So,
statement. Definitely.
so we want to clean it out so that it could naturally come online to the comfort and brilliance and creativity that's naturally within all people.
Wow. Awesome to know and awesome to do that. I'm feeling so relaxed. So
Wonderful.
yeah, something specific to be mindful while doing EFT to get the right results which we want. You have
Yes,
something like that?
definitely.
Yeah. Is there
I'm
something?
sorry, was that a question?
There's something specific we have to be mindful about.
Oh, yes, yes. Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Yes. Stick to one specific thing at a time.
Okay.
So the tightness in your back, we might get into more detail. Like, is there a hardness or a coldness or a heat, or if there were a color or something very specific, or if there were an emotion, if there was an emotion that was tight, what would it be?
Okay.
Find out more, stick with that one specific issue and write it down so that you can remember it, because sometimes there's this thing in EFT called the apex that you forget that you really had an issue because it's gone.
It's gone. Yeah.
So
Mind is crowded with thoughts. So yeah, I think we have to do it literally very mindfully.
mindfully, specifically. And then when you measure on the very same thing that you started tapping with, because sometimes one thing goes away, there's a little bit goes away, but then another part of it comes in, another memory or another experience, feeling, and the number is high again. So you think, oh, I'm not making any progress. When you check in on your rating, the second time after you do it, or however many times. Make sure it's on the same issue.
Noted. Do note, friends, this is very important to be very specific what issue you're having and work upon that first before going to the other problem.
Exactly.
Yeah, we can do multiple problems, right? The body is having certain challenges in different parts and you have own issues. So yes, I think EFT can be used for different problems, but we have to be specific for one at a time. Right?
That's right. And eventually, because the neurons that fire together wire together, if we tap on enough of those specific things, then many of them that are similar will collapse.
Wow, it was awesome learning today. Can you share some message for Womenlines readers and followers?
I would love to. Please know that the wisdom and the answer and the next step is within you. All you need to do is get out of the way, and tapping can help get whatever it is that's out of the way so that you know what to do, because it's all within every person.
Beautiful message, Suzanne. Thank you so much for your time, your sharing. And yes, we would love to have your contribution in upcoming editions of Womenlines. So friends, do look out for sharing from Suzanne. She'll be sharing awesome content regarding EFT. And yes, stay blessed and take care. Thank you so much.
Thank you.